Are we live? I see no picture, I see no picture, I see no picture, I see no face. Technical difficultizations. No. Do you see my face? Yes? Do you see, can you heard me? God damn. Can you heard me, big son of gone? Oh, then we're good. Okay, let us go. Beat. Yeah. Yeah, man. What's up, my purples? How we're Disney doing right now? Right about around now, in the words of Still Fusion, let the Rochambeau begin. Let the Rochambeau begins. Sup, Betty Chopper? Star Smash is not here. No, we're not live in the. I can't speak to him in letters with voice. Just became very painfully apparent to me. How's your week, everyone? Begs, I truly appreciate that. You know, I love you being a part of this competition. Not necessarily love you as a person. I think I do. You have a very clear potential. Dragonite is in here. Betty Chopper is in here. How can life get any better? How was your week? Mine was quite brilliant. I don't know. I feel like right now we can do anything, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Star Smash. Hey, Dipwith. Nice to see some faces in here. Feel free, say what is up. I want to show you a little something first. I don't remember if I already showed you this on the stream before. Like the first couple of episodes, I was thinking like, this is gonna be such a grand. It's gonna be like a TV show with all types of different sections, interviews, news, stocks, Dow Jones, weather, Nasdaq, paperclip, Windows 95, Windows 97, spreadsheets, you name it. So there was a little news section. So I might have mentioned this before, but it's just something I've been snowing in on for the past week, and it's this little son of a gun. Ain't it cute? It's called the Otto, OTTO, and it's like a OP1 ripoff. You can see even with see this right here. Everything is very inspired, heavily inspired by the ripoff, by the OP1 from Teenage Engineering. And I love the OP1. I had to sell it because I'm not a very economics rich. But look at that. It's got even the digital cassettes in it. But what's really cool about this is a crowdsourced project as well. It's supposed to be like, it's got synthesizers, samplers, sequencers in it, you name it. And it's all developed by a community doing it together. And I find it really cool. And what I find most cool about it, most cool of everything, is that it's going to cost you between $100 to $200 they're aiming at. You're going to have to do a little bit of DIY putting it together, like some simple soldering. Let me tell you, I thought soldering was for pros. I pulled this backlight mod off. Anyone can solder. Simon and Magpie, soldering all day long. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But it turns out great. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. Actually, I think it's kind of fun. But that's why I even wanted to bring this up is because anyone can contribute to that shit. So number one, I thought like, what can we do like that? But then I thought like, hey, that is a master plan for maybe further on. Um, if anyone is good at anything, graphic design, programming, even making samples for it, shit like that, maybe we could raid that because they have a Discord of their own too. Um, Open source, yep, so cool. And it's been in the works for a couple of years. Oh yeah? Yo, Begsnaken, if you're coming to Sweden at the end of the month, you are very welcome. Let me think for a second. Uh, hey, look at that. Star Smash, fucking soldering GPUs and shit. We have YouTube. We have information power sources. Internets. We can learn to do whatever the fuck we want, seriously. No, Begs, look, you can stay at my house, but the thing is, there's something happening here either next week or the week after it. Some weekend, some South Africans are coming here to crash, and some other weekend, there was something else happening. But as long as you're not scared of, what's it called? We say in Swedish, skavfötter. Sov skavfötter. Yeah, Star Smash, I know you smart like that. It was something else you did uh, when we had the webcam chat thing. You mentioned you just fixed the shit yourself with the. Maybe it was that you mentioned. DIYing is cool and it's fun. Anyways, Bex, you're welcome here anytime. We might need to share the space, but it's all love in here, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're not a crazy murderer or rapist or something like that, I welcome people to stay. So I guess I just made this my home, our home, me and my girlfriend home to what's it called? Where the homeless people say a homeless shelter. I have to check the schedule for today. Point number 2 for the astronauts is I want to give one little last push encouragement for the remix competition of Robin's song that is in there. I'm going to give it just one more week and then we'll wrap it up. So far we only got so definitely don't solder, murder, and rape. That is the number one guideline. Only Phantom made a remix for it. But we would keep it up for like one more week and then wrap it up. But what we're here for today, except for the wonderful socialization, I'm super happy that we got so many contestants today. We got 7 people in here. We know what the deal is, right? I think most of us know. In case, it feels like I've said this before, but in case you haven't seen this before, this beautiful little beat challenge we have every week has very simple rules. Every week, last week's winner provides the sample for next week. And this time, we had a world premiere. Namely, Dendar team provided us with a sample that's been the older times sample. Brazilian samples. And it's a little bit different because we usually put like samples into it that we made ourselves. And it turned out to be quite the challenge for some people who haven't done that. For me, that's how I started out making music. So I had to give it a little thought, like, because to me it's like, of course, you know how to do that, but it's not, of course. Star Smash gave a good tip there in the forums. What did you say again? Sorry, let me read. What is the little pointer? Like, if you never worked with samples before, I want to second what Smash said. And this is universal. This goes for no matter what software you're using. Let me scroll. Let me scroll. Going to be so fun. Basically, he said, I can't find what you wrote right now, but basically what he said was, first of what song I'm talking about, Star Smash? Oh, yeah, syncing the BPM of the sample to the master tempo. That's a great way to start out if you're sampling a song like that from a record or some old song. Basically, an entire song that someone else has made and you want to sample it. When you want to get into it, that's a great way to start. Like, grab just one bar or two bars from it. You got the I know Dipwith, I know you, for instance, you made all this music, so you know what a bar is, for a measure, for ticks. Yeah, so you listen to the song, you go, oh, here's one bar that I like. Take that bar, uh, and first of all, just put it there. Put it. Oh my god. I'm very good at explaining right now. Take that one bar and make it match up with the BPM. First of all, try just putting the original one there and then make it loop, and it's going to be off. It's not going to loop evenly. And then you just try to get the BPM until it loops, until you have a perfect loop. Step number 2, repitch it. Maybe pitch it 2 semitones down and then try to change the BPM after it. When you mastered, locking it in quick like that, finding the BPM for it, there's a lot of automatic tools that do it for you, but I think it's good to know how to do it from the foundation, you know what I'm saying? After you've done that, and you feel confident doing that, I think it's a good idea to start chopping up different parts of the sample. And, you just use your ear and find whatever you like, and then start chopping it up, put pieces together, and try first piecing together one bar and try to make it make sense musically. Like, make a nice loop, then try 2 bars, then try 4 bars, and then when you master that, you can try experimenting with pulling stuff from different sample sources, different songs. Sometimes they're not always in the same key, for instance, but you can still make them match together because there are chords in different keys and scales that intersect with other ones. So, like maybe you have one chord. Yeah, it's recommend anything. One of my core beliefs is I don't believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus, but I don't think you should idolize him. So I think all sources of information is very good. Yeah, you can mix and match different sources and still make them make sense sonically and musically. Like, pull one chord from one song, pull another chord from another song. Oh, they don't fit together. But what if I pitch it? Maybe it's here. I pitch it down. Now the chord progression makes sense. And then you can have tons of fun just experimenting with stuff like that. Like, this was my main way of making beats a few years back. I used to sample 4 or 5 different records and put them all together. And I think Charles does that a lot too, because he always uses a ton of different samples. And then you learn. Yeah, lots of practice, practice, practice. And then you can learn using tools like time stretching and stuff like that. Ableton does that automatically for you, but I think it's really good, to try actually using your hands, or how should I put it, formulation wise, crafting, manual crafting with samples. I think it's a good thing to learn how to do that, because you can take that knowledge with you to several different areas of your life. All right, couple of quick sampling tips, and of course I want to encourage y'all to teach each other, because there's a whole fucking well source of knowledge right here. Let me see. Yeah, maybe we should get started with the no, I'm gonna read the comments actually. Gotta practice my multitasking. Circle of fifths is a nice. Yo, Bex and Aiken, you, for one, you always ask me what key is this in. I don't know what key it is, and I know so many different keys and scales by, listening and playing them and looking at the keys, but I don't know the theory behind it, so I don't know what they're called. And this circle of fifths is related to that also. I didn't know about this when I was doing it, like taking two different songs that are in different keys and scales and then making them match together. I just knew, like intuitively or listening to it, that I should pull this down and that chord is going to work together with that one. But there is a theory to it. So circle of fifths is a great way to, if you want to go about it the theoretical way, to see which scales intersect with each other and what chords intersect with the other ones. So you'll know that, oh, this chord is part of these three keys, scales, and they're also part of another scale. And from that you can also go on to how do you make I forgot what the term is, but when you move from one key and scale in a song to another one, you can make like transitions to them, and then you can basically go wherever you want with the music. Transpose is not really modulate. You can modulate between different keys and scales by finding these intersections of chords. All right. Did I confuse you? Yeah, it's just because I'm stressing it and trying to speak about 1,000 things at the same time right now. Listen to these pros instead. Don't listen to my bullshit. I need to prepare and make like a half-hour video to get a point across. Working on it. Let's get to the challenge. How about that? Yeah. Opening beat challenge week 11. So this time, I'm remembering, we're going to play back the sample first so we can have a quick listen and see how has it been. I'm not going to say that word. How's it been manipulated? Whoa. This is a gangster sample. Copyright. They're not gonna take the video down for it still, right? You have a point, Dragonite, though. Yeah, too late. We don't need to play the whole song anyways. But it would be able to detect that from just that short part. They can detect like it's 1.5 seconds. It's not like I'm out here making money, making the big bucks off of these here videos anyway, so it doesn't matter. As long as they don't take the video down. That was a sample, and first up in the challenge is Charles Michael. Using the samples, this sample was Arthur Verochai or Verochai, right? Digicada. Uh, he's also sampled Bauer and Boy's Noise. Fire like this. Ultramagnetic, Ultramagnetic MC's Critical Beatdown, and the classic breakdance joint, the incredible bongo band Apache, and Good Times with Cheek. Very unknown song, nobody has heard Cheek. Nile Rodgers is the guitarist in that band, and they made disco funky. Everybody's heard of Cheek. Joking you. Let's play it. This channel has been shut down. Okay, gotta push the play button. You'll have maybe heard this drum break. That is very dope. Here come the bongo band bongos. Good times. That was Cheek, right? Good times. The duets, that's the dub delay that I'm talking about. Very cool. What I love about Charles Michael is, you see what he did here? He had like 5 samples on there. Most of them were drums and stuff, but the thing that really strikes me is that you have a very good ear for what goes well together sonically. It's like, I imagine the thought process in your head is like, you heard this original sample, and then you hear all these other songs that feel like they're in the same dimension, in the same world sonically, and you just mash them together. Also nice that you got some structure to it, some different sections, and it had a nice flow to it. Let us see. Das the beat junkie is lost in a hole. Chumming up. Okay. Yeah, stutter it up. Nice filter tune. Begs, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's because he knows tons of music theory. I believe he knows tons of music theory, but music theory doesn't give you the flavor. Wonderful crisp on the drums. You, silly you. Silly you. Always trying to troll me. Troll versus troll is a weird combination. The outro was fucking cool. Loved it. My most favorite thing about this beat was really the crisp and crunch that you could hear in the top frequencies of the drums. I would like a little more violence in the low end though, like a harder thumping kick or something. Other than that, quite the wondrous beat. Oh yeah, I always forget this. Amazing, dangerous. Okay, moving on to Dragonites. He found this to be quite the challenge. This was a rough one, citing from him. Could not get a good grasp of it, not my vibe. It's different. But he still put the practice in. Let's listen. Smash, I'm with you on that one. Like the combination opens up the way station. Knowledge power. Bomb Funk MCs, right, Bex? Actually, I said uh, the Waze station, but Wave Station sounds cooler. Let's keep it for that way for the books. Cool. I like that. Nice. Taking it way off the beaten path. You never know when you're gonna end up, where you're gonna end up. When Dragon Knight is steering the ship. Right? Maybe it's a good thing right now, Dragon Knight, that you got too much time on your hands. Gotta say, that's my favorite Dragon Knight one so far. That one was super dope. I liked everything except the quirky keys that came in and they kind of threw me off a little bit. Everything else was super cool. Missy Elliott would hop on that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna like it. And now, Beggs and Aiken, we are skipping his submission for this week. Start now. Kidding you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop with these toxic jokes with you, Beggs and Aiken. You know it's all love. Yeah, you will have no time on your hands. Beggs and Con with Glitchtown Express. Is it just me, or why do I expect that we're gonna anticipate some glitchiness going on in this one? You're putting it to very good use. Yo, Cassidy Besterfield, you ended up in the right place. God bless the broken TVs. Fuck Beggs. I'm sorry, this is my favorite since Yomoko. Can we please get some rap on this? My lord. Ah! What? Amazing. Thanks, Aiken. Gotta give it to you. I gotta tell you straight up, man. This is my favorite beat by you so far, ever. And I've heard like at least 10 of your beats. I've heard I've heard a lot of your beats. And this was like this one was the 9-yard jackpot. That motherfucking putt mini golf hole in one. Even the big golf. Stretch it that far. I'll do it. God damn. Yeah, nice one. I'm green. Yeah. Jordan, cosine. Level up. Low level radio. Cosine. Good. I love it. Um, you got a radio? You got like a podcast or something? Low level radio? Let's make a podcast. I want to make a podcast. Star Smash. Good to have you back, Star Smash. I know you had to handle your biz. Everybody, we have to handle our biz. We can't be on call all the time in here. But it got awfully empty in the black hole without Star Smash. And now he's back and he's thriving. He's called his beat Latin Death Dance. Okay, nice rhythm. I'm not playing it again. You can't miss the whole beat challenge. It's just a forever type thing, you know what I'm saying? Oh. Nice bass. For real! Sorry, I'm paying attention to the beat. I just find this fucking interesting with the pirate station in East London too. That's like the capital pirate stations. To me, that's all like historical legacy shit. I didn't know that still existed. I need to talk to you about that later. Yeah. I like how the hi-hats are tripping as well. It's a London thing. You knocked it out the park, Smash. I didn't expect this. No, Dragon Knight, don't tease Cassidy. He doesn't have a TV right now. Fuck, man. That's some level up shit as well. I heard a few beats from you, like from when you started out on the machine. You're getting the hang of it. Gotta give it up for... Oh, Cassidy is your girlfriend? I love it. I love the low end. Speaking of music theory, you want to learn some low end theory, go see Smash. Hipstorian, don't you worry about it. It's all fun and games. It's all flexing muscles. It's all about killing the competition and proving that you're the best in the world and everyone else sucks. Right? It's nice to hear how everyone interprets samples differently. It's really cool hearing that. Some people go for larger chunks, and then you kind of hear what parts they gravitate towards. Some people are more for the micro chunking. Some people are going all the way somewhere else. Still fusion is sweating like a pregnant nun right now. Nice. Yo, Dip, any questions? I can tell you for sure. If I can help you out any how, just let me know. Any questions, anything like that, and post it in the Discord as well, so we can help you get a rocket start to it. Cause sampling is a lot of fun. I've been a little bit tired of it because a couple years back I started playing everything myself, and I kind of found the new love, excitement in that, the infatuation of it. So I've been away from it, but now it's kind of starting to itch again. I'm gonna go out and buy some records. Yeah, man, Hipstorian. It's like it's nearly impossible to replicate the certain sound you can get from sampling old records, unless you actually like produce a whole song in the same fashion, record it in the same fashion, press it on vinyl and sample it. It's a very special thing, and I think it shall be embraced. And I hate people who are, I don't hate them, I just think that they're uneducated for saying that sampling is stealing. Next one. Scrolling. Low Down Brown. It's a premiere, right? It's a world premiere in the compo. Low Down Brown, good to have you out here in Iron Rio. First submission here, still super new to beat making, little less than 1 year into owning a Machine Mark III. He's been DJing and buying records his entire adult life, and he's found that this is pretty much all he wants to do until he's in his grave. That's a good feeling, man. Big up Dendar team for pulling up that dope record. I loved exploring all the different moments on it. It had me way off in Brazil, and for whatever reason I began thinking about how South America loves their metal bands. And well, I ended up with this madness. Interesting. So I guess we're gonna get to hear some heavy metal twist on it. Let us go.
Hey, come on. Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, yeah!
Yeah. Right now they're in two, but before they were. Oh, here we go. Is that Iron Maiden? I love Iron Maiden and Kiss. Okay, quick instant pointers. What Beg said. The bass and the samples were out of tune with each other's. And riffing off of what Smash is saying, going for that dissonant sound, that is something you can do. If you can master doing both and it's intentional, it's a good thing. But like listen to Bomb Squad productions and RZA and stuff like that, where it's just all, chaotic, it's out of tune, it's just supposed to be as rugged as possible. So that's a feeling you can go for. But it was out of tune every here and there, especially the bass. But for being 1 year into it, not bad at all. Not bad at all. And it was kind of like a, yeah, Clan in the front is very dissonant. If it's atonal, I think that must be the word for it. I'm not much for it myself. Sometimes it's perfect, but it takes something special to get a dissonant sound together uh, and make it make sense in the not making sense. You know what I'm saying? But I think you doing real good for 1 year, and if it's going to be one thing, like if you don't know and it's not intentional, then I would suggest that is something you should focus on. But it did sound like you had a lot of fun playing around with the sample, like you could hear it, and that is main number one. Hipstorian with a shitty mix and no time to refine drum patterns. I'm just kidding, man. So, Hipstorian, you wanted to stress a little bit that the mix, you feel that the mix is whack and you didn't really have time to refine drum patterns, but he had fun. Fun is the number one. I don't want this to be a stress thing, you know what I'm saying, just to make it that you're stressing to make it. But and if you do, you know, and it's not going to be your best masterpiece ever, it doesn't matter. Just throw it up anyways. And I think we're all reasonable people. We're open to critical feedback and stuff like that. And like if you're gonna take some feedback on it and you know that and you're already aware of it, then it's like, yeah, cool, fine. I knew that, but yeah, here we go. Exactly. We all learn from all contribution. Christmas time. You filtered out the bass from the sample, right? I like the bass. Quick question, Hipstorian. Which way of chopping do you prefer? Do you use one of the slice modes or do you do it like manually by duplicating the samples? Yeah, right? It's the way to go. You get that maximum control, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that will make the unworkable work. Because the thing is, it's so much easier to adjust the individual chops. And like if you want to retune one of the chops, you could do it right away. And I think it's much more smooth on the machine to chop it manually. But one thing that is really awesome is when you use the manual slice mode and chop it on the fly. Sometimes that's just a perfect tool. That's something I imagined like already on the MPC 2000 XL. Like, what if they made it so that you could do the chops as it's playing? Yeah, really cool. Nice work, Hipstorian. Uh, the only thing that really stuck out with the mix was that the Christmas bell was very close to my ear here and moving around a little louder. You know what I'm saying? But no biggie. Same with this one. I can really hear that you had fun with it. And that is our number one. Let's see how the voting scores are doing. What's up with the votes, y'all? Come on, everybody. Voting time. Right now, Beggs and Khan are going head to head. Beggs and Khan are going head to head. Beggs and Khan is going head to head with Star Smash with 3 votes each, or actually 2 votes each. Has anybody not voted? Go ahead and vote. Dragonite. Dragonite got himself a vote right about around now. You don't know how to vote, peoples? You enter the Discord and go to B Challenge Week 11. Nice, Jordan. It's 8 o'clock on the dot for me right now. I don't know if we're. What do you say? Shall we? I'm going to talk a little bit more shit and see if some votes drop in. A thought that struck me about this challenge was how it was a little bit of a unique challenge bringing in the sample. A sample like this, since some people didn't have any experience doing that and obviously had a little bit of fun doing it too. I would like to challenge this week's winner to challenge the contestants for next week. Like, try to come up with something. I don't know what. I'm doing the easy work here. I'm just telling you to be creative. But I thought it was a fun thing. And I don't know if maybe there is some way that you can, challenge the challenge. Exactly, Star Smash. You made it make perfect sense. Like, just keep that phrase in mind when you're picking your sample. challenge the challenge. Dip with lesson for next time. What can we say? Just submit it next time. Okay. I'm lost for words. I saved my vote until now because it turns out we often have these tie situations where it's happened a couple of times. I know which one I'm going to vote for. I've been knowing. And right now we have a triple tie between Dragonite, Begs and Aiken, and Star Smash. You can motivate your votes however you want it to. I have to say, Begs and Aiken was my favorite vibe of all of these. These three were my favorites for this week, also, the ones who are tied right now. Star Smash far exceeded my expectations. Begs and Aiken, favorite Begs and Aiken beat so far, and my favorite. But I'm gonna go for voting on Dragonite this week. This happened, man. You climbed that spaceship ladder up to the upper deck. Because of the immense improvements that you made, the fallacy for persistence, and overall dope beat, except take away that synthesizer thing, my vote goes to Dragonite. So I think right now we have a winner. And it is, yeah, it had a menage a tie. But Dragonite, you're the winner. Congratulations! Just because I love doing this technical thing, it was amazing. It was dangerous! You know the deal, man. Thank you guys so much for showing up here. And it's just amazing seeing this thing rolling, you know what I'm saying? People communicating and stuff like that is what I love for. Okay, bye-bye.